Late 70s, at the age of 19.
I don't know where he is. Well, Mr. Kulke, the undertaker, he said he was coming back here to do the final arrangements.
You needn't worry yourself. He'll be here.
I have to move this chair to make room for the food.
Leave the chair where it is. Let one of your maids move it.
Mother, I'll have one of the maids do it.
I'm not sure when to have the food put out. I want to be ready when the guests arrive.
Mother, I'm here to help you.
I know you are, dear, and I thank you for it. I know my family will come for the funeral. I expect family to come.
Of course they'll come.
But I don't know about our acquaintances. Oh, so many have drifted away since we had to sell the business. I'm not sure which of his business friends, if any, will come.
I don't want Mordecai to come.
I wonder if Mordecai will come.
I don't want Mordecai in this house.
Is this how they did the wakes in Ireland?
What?
The wakes? Is this how they did the wakes?
They drank to the deceased.
Oh, I don't think I ever knew. I was just a young girl then.
Mother Denham, I don't think I've ever heard you speak of Ireland.
Well, my mother and father told me we left Ireland because the times was bleak.
I heard that's why many Irish left there.
Oh, the sickness and the hunger, of course, caused by the potato blight. And everyone we knew was poor. No, there's not much to say. I left with my mother, father, and sister when I was 10 years old. So long ago, I don't remember much.
Do your children know of your years in Ireland?
Oh, nobody wants to hear about stories from the past.
Yes, they do. I remember there was plenty of work in the linen mills in Belfast. That's where my dad worked. Worked at the Mulholland Mill up on Henry Street. You know where that is? It was the first one built for the wet spinning of flax. You know about that? Wet spinning of flax. Well, I won't go into all the details. But wet spinning allowed us to make a very fine thread of superior quality and uniform consistency, so that finally we could compete with the Belgian manufacturers, don't you know? Up until then, they dominated the market for high-quality white linen. And in 10 years, there were 64 more factories in Ulster just like it. I think that's correct. I'll have to think about that.
I remembered that my mother used to take in laundry from the cathedral down the street. Oh, yes. And me and my sister delivering it after it was cleaned with the cart we owned.
You and your sister worked? What, were you 9 years old? And your sister even younger?
Everyone worked. We had to.
Oh, my dear, everyone in the family who was able worked and earned money.
We weren't poor, but we had to work.
There's poor, and then there's dirt poor.
Our families weren't dirt poor.
We were the former, meaning we didn't starve. No, we didn't. There was enough food to eat, so we were spared the worst of the sickness. Now, cottiers near and about Belfast.
Cottiers?
Small plot farmers, what you might call subsistence farmers.
What did you just ask?
Cottiers.
Cottiers, yes. Well, cottiers are small plot farmers. They grow potatoes, and, well, there wasn't as many of them, of course, with the blight. They lost their crops. But there wasn't as many of them doing this as was doing it in other parts. Oh, yes, yes, most of the people worked in the town, or in the docks, or in the mills, but no, not on the land. They didn't depend on growing potatoes for their food. Now, my family came here, about a year before Thomas's. Our family knew one another in Ireland, as my da used to work in a linen mill in Belfast, as did Thomas's. Yes, indeed. I don't remember which one it was, though. Oh, and Susanna, now she was Thomas's mother. She died back in 70, or was it 92? Don't remember. She took also laundry in, is what I remember. Oh, God bless her.
Yes, God bless her.
When did Thomas come to America?
Oh, I think it was in 47.
It was 48.
Or was it 48?
It was 48.
Well, I can't remember. Would you please, dear? He came with his aunt and uncle. Of course, now, his parents came to America the year before with their other children, but Thomas, no. Thomas stayed behind until there was enough money for his passage. He had a job, you see, as a young boy.
Can you believe it, at 11 years old? Age 11, I worked in a linen mill at age 11. It was a Mulholland's mill, like I told you, and I was a bleacher.
Mother, how did it come to such an end as this? Thomas Denham, who a few years ago practically controlled the ice cream business of Brooklyn, shot and killed himself at 16 Sydney Place, a boarding house kept by his wife. In 1868, Mr. Denham first engaged in the manufacture of ice cream, and in a short time was doing a very large business. He had a big store on Fulton Street.
Fulton Street, oh yes.
And a few years later, doubled his facilities. Doubled them?
Oh, indeed.
By combining with Mr. Mordecai Fussell, who kept an ice cream saloon on the opposite side of the street.
Right across, yes.
The two partners did not agree. No?
No.
And a few years later, Denham bought Fussell's interest,
Oh, yes.
and the latter moved to New York City. After amassing a fortune, he in turn sold out to Mr. Dixon.
Yes.
He was 54 years old.
53.
He amassed a fortune.
Oh, such a waste. Oh, such a waste. We were married for over 30 years. Yes, we have been estranged these past 7 years,
But we remained married all this time. I stayed with you 30 years.
Oh, it's shameful. Positively shameful. Why, they'll be whispering about me because Thomas shot himself.
What happened? Why did he take his own life?
I don't know where to begin. It all seems like a dream, a bad dream. Well, I suppose it was the drinking that got him.
Drinking?
Drinking?
Oh, yes, the drinking.
When did that start?
Oh, as long as I can remember. He would take a drink once in a while. When he first started to visit me down in the flatlands, he would share a sip with me down once in a while.
That was a long time ago.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I don't know. Maybe it became serious when we enlarged the business. You know, we remodeled the second floor to accommodate more customers. But the business didn't grow as he had hoped. Oh, and he worried all the time. He was actually making a lot of money, but that didn't seem to calm his fears.
Well, what about you and Stuart?
Stuart?
He doesn't talk to you. He refuses to speak of Thomas. It's gone on quite long enough. Once and for all, I want you to tell me, why does Stuart behave this way?
Stuart. Oh, he was making money. Thomas, that is, was making money. But it was never enough. So he added the second floor. Maybe it was too much. You know, there were bills to be paid, and we needed the money.
You didn't have to go to your sister in the first place.
And I held the second mortgage, and it didn't look like we were going to be able to meet the debts that kept accumulating. And I made him sell the business.
Wait, you held the second mortgage?
Yes.
How did that happen? Where did you get the money?
Well, from my family. My sister.
Nancy?
Yes.
Is Nancy married to Wyckoff? They're an old Dutch patroon family.
Nancy, I see, but what about Stuart?
Well, Stuart worked for us in the ice cream business. If we had been able to keep it, he stood to inherit it. But you see, I had to sell it. Oh, and he was angry at me. He felt I sold his inheritance right out from under him. And he stopped speaking. And he stopped visiting. Why, the only time I saw him was at your wedding.
I always thought Stuart had money. I just didn't know where it was, where it went. Now it's all coming together for me. This is what he's been keeping from me all this time.
Oh, yes, my dear, I'm afraid so.
Oh, the folly! We have to make this right between you.
Well, if he comes today, I suppose it's possible.
If he comes, of course he'll come. I'm his father.
He'll come. And we'll repair this breach. And we'll get on with our lives without continually tiptoeing around this secret.
I didn't know, Margaret, by my faith. I didn't know.
Heavenly Father, please bless the soul of Thomas Denham and his family.
It's here. It's him.
Who? The Undertaker?
No, it's Stuart.
I told you he'd come.
Stuart? Oh, Stuart. Stuart!
Did I tell you I worked in a linen mill at age 11? I was a bleacher.